right now on It's Your Call.
Are you wondering if you are somehow going to be affected by the news from Wall Street today? Do you want to know if your money is safe? We'll have answers for you coming up live on It's Your Call. I'm going to invite our other guest here to join in with their opinion now. Brian Greenberg runs a CPA and financial services firm in Marlton, New Jersey. He also hosts a radio show, Greenberg News, on WNJC. That's 1360 AM in Philadelphia. It just seems like big companies more and more these days are getting greedier and greedier, and now we're seeing them pay the price.
Well, the impact is this. Think of a bank as you're going to a store to go shopping. They have nothing on the shelves to give you.
I hate those kinds of stores.
Exactly. Well, for me,
not my favorite store.
Well, I don't like to shop, so it works perfect for me. And the reality is that these banks gave their money to Wall Street in these investments that went sour. So as a result, when you go to borrow money to buy a car or a house, there's no money there to give you, or there's less there. So the result is that what you have to do is they're only going to give it to their best customers. And that's what's happening, is that there's less money available out there for people who want to buy cars, who want to buy houses, and that's what's impacting the economy.
So many times we hear the term bailout, and I think I read someplace that the feds said, no, we're not going to help this Lehman Brothers out. What does that mean? How do you describe that, or how do you explain that to someone like me?
It's the taxpayer. You pay taxes, right? It comes out of your paycheck every week, doesn't it?
Yep.
Well, in essence, we're all contributing. We're making a contribution to help pay for Fannie Mae, for Freddie Mac, for Bear Stearns and other companies. And what the Federal Reserve has decided to do is we have to draw the line. But the problem is we were going way past the line, and now we're paying for all these things. And what that means is either our taxes go up, or they're going to find another way to print more money so that we don't have to pay these obligations back.
If you have so many teetering, though, can we fix them all, or is there going to be a total collapse?
Well, that's what they have to avoid.
Well, again, it's about the medicine. You have a sick patient and you want to prescribe the right medicine. You give them the wrong medicine, the patient will suffer. But it can be cured. You have to understand what the problem is. And my analogy about the shelves being barren at banks is true. So what the Federal Reserve, they should do is put money back on the shelves. I believe that they should put a $500 billion installment loan to all banks throughout this country to put money back on the shelves.
I have over $60,000 in the AIR, or what is it? I'm so nervous here. AIG.
AIG.
Okay, it's paid up. It's annuity. It's annuity. Would I be able to get that annuity out without penalizing, or do I have to wait for them to decide what they're going to do, which could be a year or 2 years? Do I not use that money?
Just the same way we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
It's kept protected separate. It's not money that the company can touch. It's your money. So again, it's protected, it's yours. I wouldn't necessarily go in and pull it out where you may be subject to penalties.
Is it ever too late to get good credit? What if people are our age and they've struggled and they've had their ups and downs, and maybe they've got some black marks on the credit score? So is it ever too late?
Well, first thing you should do is find out what your credit score is. You want to see where you actually stand. It may not be as bad as you think. Let's talk about Lehman Brothers. They've been around for 158 years. Why? By being solid, prudent financial advisors. What happened? Greed overcame intelligence. You have the brightest minds on Wall Street, but when you get greedy, you throw good sound advice aside. And that's what happened. Like with anything else, you want to first determine your financial situation. And we talked about getting a credit score. Even though you don't own a house, you still have a credit score. And then you want to look at, can you afford if you want to buy that house? That's the biggest problem. That's what helped create this problem, is people bought houses and didn't really sit down to figure out what happens if I lose my job and I can't work for 6 months for whatever reason. And then how they're going to meet that payment. So that's the first step to take. Well, I think, again, about establishing great credit is really the key, because it's not just saving money. Spending less is also important. And by having great credit, you'll be spending less money and accumulating more.
All right, on that note, we want to thank all of our guests for joining us.